Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Heyo and welcome to my YouTube show channel thing. So now I'm doing this every week. I get artists in all time, which is pretty awesome. Today we've got Mozakade, and you've been in before, probably about a year ago or something. Yeah, so you can check out their work at deviantart.com Mozakade /Mozakade. Yeah, so their work's pretty awesome, and you know, here they are. Their voice might have cut out for a second there or something. So just rejoin the call. These things happen, technical issues, as usual. And so today I'm drawing this dog creature. Hey, Mozakade. She went silent for a minute. But yeah, I've got Mozakade in today. When he comes back. Yeah, so I'm doing this dog creature, and you can see the whole process here. So you can see me actually. I don't show this all the time, but I actually, you know, draw it on a piece of paper or something usually, or yeah, sketches and things on pieces of paper. Yeah, I always do different things like that. Sketches, I might come up with the idea at a random place. Like I think I came up with this drawing when I was at work or something. You know, unexpected times I'd come up with the idea, and sometimes I just jot it down. It's not that good. I haven't got reference with me, so yeah. So sometimes it's just random places that I have these. So we're just trying to get Mozakade on. It's a little bit of a technical issue sometimes. These things happen. People cut off. Using different mediums sometimes. Like at the moment, I'm using Discord and Twitch. So yeah. So yeah, this is a dog creature I've created for some little kind of studio place that wanted some dog creature created. Hey, Mozakade.
Can you hear?
Oh yeah, I can just hear you.
Okay. I think we were having some technical difficulty.
Yeah, we always seem to have technical difficulties every now and again, eh? See if you can. I can put your voice up. Hey, how's it? Hey, Mozakade.
Hey.
Hey, we're here with Mozakade. So, I've got a question for you. So, what have you been up to since like our last stream?
I don't know, it's been a while. I guess art-wise, I've just continued doing it a lot of freelance work. I haven't done. I kind of took a break somewhat this past year. I kind of like toned down the amount of freelance work I've done, but I actually just recently went back to school, so I guess that kind of contributed to it too. But I'm actually going to school for animation now, so.
Awesome. Yeah, I've seen some of your work lately. I'm like, oh my gosh, um, like you had really like you had pretty cool work, um, your last stream, and the last like a little bit after that, I just noticed some even greater work after that. You can see your progression. It's so awesome.
Thank you.
Hmm. Yeah, it has been a long time since you're on stream. It was like, I'd say, it wasn't it this time last year, I think. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. Sometimes I get new artists in, and other times I get some of the other artists that I've had before in. Um, so I try and make a variety. It depends on who's kind of available for stream sometimes, and other times it's just trying to find someone new to change it up, um, which is really cool. I've had a mini artist in since you were on my thing. I think you might have been after Nell, so I've had Nell Falcard twice now, which is really cool. Um, yeah, it's awesome. Um, so yeah, you mentioned you're studying animation now.
hmm
Do you always get time to draw and paint now, or are you mostly doing animation?
Uh, I still do a lot of illustration just because that's just what I'm used to, I guess. But I really want to get into more of 3D kind of things. Uh, and I think I would have went into this earlier, but where I was living for a while, I lived in like a small rural area, and that major wasn't ever offered at the school I had went to before. All they had was graphic design, but I didn't
Mm.
want to do graphic design. I had moved around Nashville, and I'm actually going to a school that actually offers animation as the major. So uh, that's kind of another reason I went back, because I had that opportunity uh, to do something with that's kind of somewhat art related. I know it's kind of more media related, but I think you have to have a strong foundation in art just to do animation anyway. But I'm excited about it. So,
Definitely you do. I mean, you need to know how to draw for an animation, definitely. And 3D, you still need to learn like how to draw as well. It does what they call it, cross reference. Like when you learn 3D, it does go back into illustration, does help your illustration, and your illustration will help your 3D understanding as well. Um, so yeah, it does.
I agree.
Yeah, you do need to like have a strong understanding how to draw stuff with 3D. You can't just kind of, well, you could just go in and try to make things with shapes, um, but it just,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna say I think it would be a lot harder if you just didn't have any background with drawing or creating basic things. I feel like it would be much harder to learn 3D if you didn't have that in your like background foundation.
Hmm, definitely. Um, yeah, I've delved into some 3D before, and it was quite challenging, but I did have a little bit of foundation in drawing already before I did start going into 3D. Um, yeah, it was interesting, but it's I find it I find it more fun drawing for me and creating things through Photoshop illustration and painting gouache and all that stuff. Then I don't have too much fun doing 3D stuff. Um,
Definitely a little bit different.
mm, it's way different. Um, But you know, for learning purposes, sometimes I might give it a go again. You know, just to.
You know what's left out of meditation? The people who want depth and detail. And I made a firm decision that that's who I'm here to serve. So, you know what? There probably won't be that many 5-minute videos on this channel, with the exception of fairly concise videos where I just need to explain what something is, and 5 minutes will probably satisfy that, maybe 6. But going forward, this is just how we're at.
I don't know what that is in the
figure out
background.
who you serve, and serve them best. Play your strengths. Instead of trying to gamify everything and do what's trendy or popular and know what's trendy or popular, 5-minute videos on YouTube. Let's talk about it. Hey, my name is Roberta Wade. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, first of all, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you guys can tell, I've been doing this for a while. My name is Roberta Wade. I'm just an entrepreneur, public speaker. I do an online social media coaching business around different platforms and
So
content
guys,
marketing.
I don't know where that, what that's coming from. Oh, I think I know where it's coming from. No, I don't. It's coming from the video. Unfortunately, the video obviously had some sound, so I'm gonna turn the sound up. Sorry about that, guys. I must have been watching a video at some point, and it came in the background, and yeah, I didn't delete the sound, unfortunately. So we'll get Mozakade back up, because I didn't know if it was coming from his sound, if it's coming from my sound. It was coming from mine. It was coming from the video of this, and I didn't realize I had everything. I thought I had everything muted, because usually I listen to a lot of stuff and a lot of things while I'm recording. So sometimes there might be music in the background, there might be sounds in the background of this. This video here is sped up, and that's why I sounded so sped up, you know, someone talking very speedily. So yeah, obviously I didn't mute everything, which unfortunate. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, something weird's happened in this video. But things like this happen. Hey, Mozakade.
Hey.
Back on. Yeah, I found out that it was the sound from my video, and I was like, oh, because I didn't mute everything.
Yeah, I slowly kept hearing it kind of come louder and louder in the background, but I didn't know. I was like, I don't think that's on my end.
Yeah, yeah. It's sometimes these things happen. You just gotta figure out what's going on.
But yeah, I don't hear it anymore.
Well, it's all good. It's interrupted a little bit of it, but you know, hopefully you guys will still hear some fun that's going on in the background. And that's why it sounded so sped up, because the video is actually sped up. It's probably you know, this would be about 2 times the speed of me doing it. It's actually somewhere like 1.5. I'm surprised. This piece here that I created, it actually didn't take me as long as some of the other pieces I created. It's mostly because it's just a side-on view, and it's you know, it's just a simple design. It's not really a full kind of illustration with more things going on. Yeah, some pieces is obviously it's design here. It's just kind of create this creature that I'm trying to portray. It's not me taking this creature and putting him in a pose or some sort of scenario kind of a thing. So it takes me less time just to design something. Still takes a little while, but yeah, it was significantly less time than any of my other illustrations, really. And obviously you can see that I use reference. I use quite a bit of reference every now and again. Like I've got my dog, a dog that I based it off because it's a dog-like creature, and I thought of a few dogs I could have based it off. So I've got a few dogs here and there that I've used. You can see in, I think it's in, how do you say it, Enchida or something. Can't say it, but it's like a hedgehog-like creature in the corner, just to kind of give me reference of spikes and things, and also other lizard-like creatures, because I wanted to create this. At some point you'll see me do a little bit of the detailing of the scales, but because I wanted to make this a scary-like creature, I did quite a bit of scales on this. Do you, Mozakade, use a lot of reference?
Yeah, probably a whole lot, most of the time. Well, with the exception of if I'm doing something really stylized, I don't like, especially like a stylized character. I don't really have to use reference because it's going to be extremely stylized anyway, and I just kind of pull that out of my head. But if I'm going more for like a semi-realistic look or something that I haven't drawn much before, especially like scenery or something, I will definitely use a lot of refs.
Awesome. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, usually though, sometimes like I draw the idea before I look at reference. So for this one, I just drew. You can see my little drawing of the dog in the corner there. In the bottom left corner, kind of there by the dog reference. You can see that I've done, a drawing in my book. I just did random sketches of dog creatures that I want to do without any reference. I just kind of created it, and then now I've picked up some reference to then create it better and try and flesh it out as much as I can. I mean, looking at the final piece now, I can be like, oh, I could have done it better. But because this is just like a design phase, trying to get the word stage, sorry. Yeah, this is the design stage. I'm not too fussed on it looking too realistic. I'm just worried about it making sense to the viewer. Yeah. Oh yeah, that leads on to my next question. Really, is do you worry about style when you create something?
I guess it depends on what I'm trying to depict. I think a lot of times my stuff will come off a little bit stylized anyway. I have like a really extreme stylized kind of way I can go, but then when sometimes I go more semi-realistic to realistic, which I don't know, I feel like I have a very broad spectrum. I usually worry more about style if I'm doing something more cartoony, I guess. Like I want it to be more stylized, but for more like concept work or I don't know, just like more semi-realistic stuff, I don't worry about it as much, I guess. And also if I get commissioned to do something that might not need to be stylized, like I will worry about trying my best not to like put too much style into it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. No. I mean, you have a very like strong kind of style to your work, which is awesome. Like yeah, very stylized. If you see Mozakade's work, it's very stylized. You can see it here. He's got his own like style going on, which is interesting. Things are a lot pushed, which is cool. And definitely I see a lot of styles come out when people do kind of, characters that are already created, fan art per se. Because then you can push it towards what you want to do to it. For me, I don't worry too much about style really. I just create. Yep. Anywho.
Even you have.
Sorry?
I was gonna say, even you though, like I can see kind of a style in your own work. I kind of see, like, even though you're just creating, like right now, what you're doing, I still see like a bit of your style.
Hmm. And that's just naturally coming to me, you know, I'm just learning and growing, and, you know, the style will come when it comes, or, you know, I just create what I create. I can't help what it's gonna look like in a way, you know, that's the way I draw and create. Yeah. I feel like there are a lot of people that do get caught up in like, oh, you know, I want it to look like this artist, or I want it to look like this, you know, this style, because this is the most popular style out there, so I want it to be like this. I mean, it's good to do like art studies and things, like study other artists and how other artists do things. But you don't want to be a copycat. You don't want to be like, oh, you know, I'll draw like this person, and then you'll become another, you know, another one of them. Like if you draw like Bobby Chill, you'll become another Bobby Chill, or you know, you need you shouldn't worry about too much. Yep. Whew. So yeah, this month is Inktober, which is interesting. It's day 14 over here, which is pretty cool. I'm up to, yeah, day 14. And I participate in usually every year. I've done it for the last 3 or 4 years. 3 years, I think. And each year is, depending on how busy, I participated in different ways. Like, I think my first year I was doing 100 days of creatures or something, and I decided to still do that, but just ink them instead of just draw them. I would ink them as well, for those 31 days. And the year after that I did dragons for 31 days, and this year I'm doing character design. So just drawing characters in the different poses that the words say. Like today was clock, so I've got this guy just pointing up a clock kind of a thing. But I try and choose in challenges. I participate in a few challenges, not just Inktober. Sometimes there's challenges on ArtStation that I do sometimes. How about you? Do you participate in many challenges or things? Still there, Mozakade?
Oh, sorry, you kind of cut out. I heard half of what you said.
I was asking.
You said participated in many challenges, and that's all I heard.
Yeah, have you participated in many challenges?
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Okay. It's actually, I can't even remember the last challenge I really entered that was like a posted online for. Every year I try to do Inktober usually, but I always never can finish it. I don't know, it just always seems like October becomes like a busy month for me, and I was going to try. I wanted to do it this year, but then I remember the first few days I was like really busy of October, and so then I, you know, had already ruined it because I didn't get like the first 3 days. So I never can seem to catch a good year to do Inktober. But as far as I guess the only challenges that I've really done, I've done like personal challenges for myself, like to do certain thing, but never. I can't remember the last time I actually did like a well-known challenge online.
Yeah, I mean that's good. It's good to. I think these challenges just give you obviously a challenge to do. It focus you on what you can do. personal challenges are more harder to come up with, I think. But you definitely still need to give yourself personal challenges along the way. But yeah, I use Inktober as a personal challenge, really. It guides me into doing something for 31 days. So I'm pretty bad at human characters. I'm getting better, obviously, but doing it for 31 days in October. I'm up to day 14 now, and I think it's definitely helping me create characters straight from my head. So I'm not using any reference for this. Yeah, it's helping me in doing that. Yeah, and
I think that's good though, like that even though you might struggle with it, you're still like pushing through to get better, like pushing yourself with this Inktober thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think yeah, it keeps you going as well. Like some personal challenges you might do, you might give up on because it's like there's not that, oh, everyone's watching me do Inktober kind of a feeling going on with a personal challenge.
I feel like it's easier to do challenges like well-known challenges like Inktober too, because other people are participating with you, so you get to see everybody else post every day. So it kind of encourages you to keep going till the end, I guess.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, personal challenge. It did, I mean, Inktober did start out as a personal challenge because Jake Parker, I'm pretty sure he's the one that created it, he wanted to get better at inking, and he decided to, because there's 31 days in October, that'll be the best thing to do it and make it called Inktober, where he doesn't ink for 31 days. And it's just caught on from there. And yeah, I enjoy seeing a lot of people's take on it. You see some like one of the artists I had in last week now was talking about how, you know, her Inktovers were taking quite a bit of time away from her other things, which is interesting. I think that's something that did come up as well, because I did last year. I did an ArtStation challenge. Was Under the Sea one, Beneath the Sea, and it was creating creatures and stuff. But that took away from my YouTube channel because I had to do those characters. I didn't really want to record them. I could have recorded them, and thinking about it, I should have, and done the time lapses onto my YouTube. But I was just trying to finish them off because I only had 30 days to do them. I mean, to design 10 characters in 30 days is quite a challenge for me. But I think doing that was very helpful for me as well, because I could see all the other people doing it and I could be inspired by them, and then me posting them and me getting encouraged from other people was awesome, just participating in it. But yeah, it's enough about challenges. So yeah, I use a few social medias. If you don't know, everyone, I do have a Patreon as well for this YouTube channel if you want to support it in any way. But I've seen this other one around called Ko-Fi. Can you tell me a bit about this, Mozakade?
Yeah, I noticed this site getting bigger throughout the years. I think I noticed it 2 or 3 years ago, I guess. I don't know. Artists using it. I don't know if it's Ko-Fi or Coffee, because you buy they call it buying an artist a coffee, but I don't know if that's how you say the actual site. I'm not quite sure, but it's kind of like I guess a Patreon. It's just where you make donations to artists, I guess. Like I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's some more out there too. People use that one seems to be pretty simple to use.
It looks interesting. There's a few people that I've seen on there. I'm like, oh, interesting. I'll just buy them a coffee, which is a cool concept, you know. Like, you're kind of just buying someone a coffee that you want to. You know, you're not buying into them any further, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's like I think usually people donate like $3. I guess it's like supposed to be the amount of a coffee, but I don't know if you can donate less than that, or I guess you can do more. It's been a while since I've actually like donated to anybody, so it's been a while. But so yeah, I like it because, you know, and two, with Patreon, you have to. Most people want to see content, like exclusive content but you don't have to do that really on this one. Like, you don't have to like kind of keep up with it, like especially if you're really busy. It's more of just like a donation pool, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's you know, Patreon's obviously you've got to keep feeding it, and yeah, people expect you to do something, like if they're gonna pay you to do something. But I feel like Ko-Fi is just, you know, you're just kind of giving them a coffee, you know. You don't have to expect them to do anything for it. You just, you know, shouting someone a feed or whatever, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I think, how far are we in now? We're at 31. Well, we're going good. Oof. So, yeah, one day I might sign up for that Ko-Fi, I'm not too sure. Has it been helpful to you in any way?
I guess a little bit, but I don't know. I'm kind of lazy, so I don't like, you know, with Patreon. I know I don't like have a lot of Patreon supporters, but I'm so lazy. Like I'm so busy that I don't have exclusive stuff like for anybody, and I don't know. I just don't like to have to I have so many other things I have to update all the time, so I don't know. The Ko-Fi coffee, whatever. I don't know. I don't think I've had too many to donate on that, but it's just something to kind of throw up there, you know, if people want to, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's so many social medias these days. I mean, you've just got to find what one's important to you and use it.
Yeah.
And I mean, each one's every different level. I mean, there's so many people trying to, you know, just make a living off Patreon. Yeah, it's a doable thing.
Yeah, it works out. Yeah, it totally works out for some people. The Patreon thing, like it works very well for some people. Like I said, I'm lazy. I don't want to have to do exclusive stuff. But, I don't know. You know, and I get tipped with some of my freelance work too, so I like kind of consider that. You know, I don't know. Not trying to like beg for money from anybody. I'm not trying to make a living right now off of it either, so it's not a huge deal to me.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's extra cash, you know, it's just a bit of splash money, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, I've used Patreon, but I've never, you know, never gotten a donation from it or anything. Yeah, but, you know, it's there for anyone that does want to support me at one day. But yeah, it would be very hard for me to keep up to date with it, kind of a thing. I mean, mostly it's for this YouTube channel at the moment, so I can just kind of post my YouTube videos here. But if I was gonna create exclusive content, it's like, what kind of exclusive content do I make? Like release the final piece on there before the actual YouTube video is up, something like that. So sometimes I do quite a bit of like experimentation at times. Like for instance, I think at one stage of this creature I was thinking about having it a bit furry or feathery. But yeah, that quickly faded when I was like, oh, it's got to be, you know, a protective, scary kind of creature. I was like, nah, this has got to be very scaly and you know, creature like per se. So I was wondering, do you do much experimentation or practices before starting a new final piece?
Yeah, I guess I do. I try a lot of times. Sometimes I'll just try new methods or something. Sometimes things I like don't post. I'll just like play around with things to see how something might come out, or even if I'm not trying to focus something on a particular picture. I used to do. I haven't done it in a while. I used to do experimental commissions. I would offer that for people that wanted to like pay for a cheap commission, and it would be very experimental. They didn't know what they were going to get, and I would do something different than I hadn't done before, just to use them as guinea pigs, I guess, for different methods I wanted to try to see how they would come out. But I think experimentation definitely helps too when you're like focusing on a certain final piece. Sometimes, you know, you want to see what works and what doesn't sometimes.
Definitely. Yeah, sometimes, you know, for me, there might be like a new texture or just a new subject I'm not used to. So it'll take a bit of like me just experimenting on how to paint that sometimes. Yeah, and obviously I do some practices every now and again. Like I've just done some texture studies, which I just put up last week, and I'll be looking at doing more texture studies. There's just been a course actually on schoolism that I'm really interested in about texture studies. So I'm looking at possibly in the next couple of weeks or months or something, looking at doing that course and just learning a bit about texture. Yeah. So use a wee bit of what social medias do you use?
I use Twitter and Instagram are the main ones I use.
Oh yeah, awesome. Yeah, I use a few.
I guess I was gonna say I guess DA could be considered for art and a social media and art social media.
Yeah, I see it as a social media. I mean, it's not as social as some of the others, but it you know, it definitely is. And not like there's not a ton of advertisements involving it. You know, people that have this little advertisements, you know, they've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and probably like YouTube or something. They hardly ever have a little DeviantArt logo or something on there. But yeah,
just because it's so
Sorry?
Oh, sorry, you're cutting out.
What were you
Oh,
going to
you
say?
were kind of cutting in and out.
Oh, yeah. What were you saying, though?
I'm trying to... I think I was going to say about the... All I heard last was you said you usually don't see, like, the little icon you can use, I guess, for DeviantArt, but I figured it was probably because it's so geared just towards artists, but the other ones are geared kind of more for anybody and everybody. Like, you don't have to have, like, a special skill set, so they probably don't really advertise the DA one unless it's something dealing with art, I guess.
Definitely. Yeah, this is Mozakade's DA, DeviantArt. I usually show, the artist DeviantArt at the end. I mean, you've got a few social medias here. You've got Instagram and all that stuff. Yeah, what do you find is the best? Like, what do you use the most often of social medias?
I probably use Instagram the most just because I feel like I don't have to post finished work on Instagram. I post a lot of work in progresses and time-lapse videos and just, little things relating to art and my processes. But I wouldn't feel comfortable posting that on other places. So I like that I can kind of just not have to, like, have really finished work on Instagram. And I also feel like it has the biggest audience almost. Like, well, DA has a big audience, but Instagram is not a lot of non-artists are on Instagram, so I have found ever since I joined Instagram that I have a lot more traffic coming through because of being on there, because there's so many like non-artists just looking at art, I guess, and looking at everything there.
Yeah, exactly. There's lots and lots of people on here. There's everything from, people taking photos of their food, to cosplay, to artists on there as well. So yeah, obviously you're saying there's a lot of different traffic on there. And yeah, every social media is different. So you can't, on your, like you're saying, on your DA, you wouldn't post a lot of your Instagram stuff on there. Which is like, exactly like Inktober at the moment. I'm not posting it to DeviantArt or ArtStation, because they're not final kind of finished paintings. So it's not that kind of area for me to post that kind of thing. Where I find if I post it to Instagram, it's it's a nice happy place. People just look at it and they don't, they kind of can understand that this is a cool drawing or something. That's what it is. It's a sketch drawing. It's not a final piece. Yeah, it's a different kind of a place. Awesome. Anything else you'd like to say or talk about?
I just like drew a blank. I would like to ask. You seem to draw a lot of dinosaurs and dogs, kind of like hybrid monsters. Is there anything that like inspires that?
I'll just say for me is I just like animals. I just get inspired by seeing nature, and I do like to create something different. I've spent like heaps of time just drawing what I see, and I like to now try and to change that up and try and to just create something that I haven't seen before, Yeah, I mean one of my biggest inspirations would be Bobby Chio. I really like his work. But that's not my main inspiration, Yeah.
Just a part of it.
Yeah, that's about it. Oh, so that's been a good stream with Mozakade. thank you for coming in. I was glad to have you, and thanks for watching, you guys, for coming in and watching. I do appreciate it. We're gonna have these every week, and with that, there's obviously going to be technical difficulties, and sometimes there's streaming issues. So the net's been playing up every now and again, but hopefully in the next few weeks we might be getting like faster broadband. So hopefully that might help it. And also hopefully I can keep up with all these videos. Creating new content every week is not exactly easy. Yeah, but just everyone keep drawing, keep creating, you know, do what you do, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Goodbye.